Okay guys, I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm designing an island right now, and what we're doing is we have a front of an island that has a range built into it, so 24 inches deep for now. I might change it, make it a little deeper at some point with two drawer banks. I'll have some side panels here, here, and here, but what we're doing is we're going to have cabinets here, and then they want a trash pull out on this side because they have a trash compactor here. So I'm actually going to put a cabinet right in this area here, facing this way. So I'll have a frame here and a frame here that are identical, except this will actually have a cabinet built into the back that slides in there. And then we're taking, so facing this way here, it'll be a dead panel. And then this way we'll have doors, but then over here you have dead panel, dead panel. So what I do is, first thing I did is I went in and I manipulated this cabinet. I went to the section, and I went to front, and I just manually deleted all the parts and shifted these parts over here. So they were all the correct part for the cabinet box, right? So then you go to the 3D view. Whoops, let's not do that. 3D view of the cabinet, not the job, not the whole job. And you see I got my back over here kind of shot out. I'll take care of that here in a second. But this is just a dead panel. And what I did is I put a rail in between here because there's going to be a reveal, and I don't want that to be see-through. So you can see I added a style through that section. So, whoops. Right there, ancient 5/8. And that way when they paint it, you see white behind this gap right here. So, I think I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to make these 3 inches. Like these 3 inches. And I'll go through and we do 3 inches styles on the outside of the island. These are actually 45, and then all come together nicely. But what I'm going to do now is I'll adjust the sizes later and make sure these are all the same size door, obviously. But the point of this video is just to show you how to get that cabinet in there. So let's go back, return. Go back to this top view here. So grab my measure tool. I'm going to measure to the outside of this to here and get a rough estimate. So we're about 20 inches. I like to leave a little room, so I'm going to make this an 18-inch drawer box. 18-inch cabinet. So I'll grab my wall here. We're going to start right here. Go up to it. Because this is dead space, it's not going to matter that much where this sets. So put it right here. Alright. And grab it, move it out a little bit. Clear that cabinet. And what I do is I shrink the width of it down a little bit because it doesn't matter. This is an imaginary wall I'm putting in there. It's just you need the wall to attach the cabinet to in the drawing. So then what we're going to do is grab this wall here, and then it's a 95.5 is what I have it set up from the back end, and these are 34.5-inch cabinets up to the top of the cabinets, bottom of the countertop. So pop in 34.5 to shrink the wall, and then I'm just going to take this down to let's go half an inch. It really doesn't matter. Oh, I did soft it. Oops. There we go, half an inch right there. Let's reverse that, huh? Okay. You guys can see me do it twice now. So 34.5, thick 0.5. All right, let's delete that wall. Being a bad wall. Go here, grab it, pull it over. You want to be really precise. So, it makes life a lot easier. Let's delete that again. If you get it like perfect, because then, you know, when you do your layout on the other side, it'll work out well. So, start here, double click it, pull it over here, zoom in really, really, really far. There we go. There we go, got our wall. Okay. Now hit return, click it. We're going to pull it forward a little bit, right there. We got our wall, thick, 0.5, boom. And 34.5. Let's see what that did. Absolutely nothing. Oh, there we go. Whoops. 34.5 and 0.5. There we go. Bumped it forward, so just move it back into place. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to set that as close as we can to an even number. So 19 and 13/16. Hit tab. And then we're going to hit 18. Okay. Grab it. Boom. Perfect. So you grab it with your right click it, tab, and then drop in when you need it. And then it'll snap into place right there. 18 3/4. That'll work. Close enough to an even number for me. So now, what I'm going to do here is we're lining it up with the face frame over here. So I'm going to jump over here real quick. Double click this, make these 3 inches because we're doing an island cabinet here. Alright. Jump back over here. Back to plan. Now what we're going to do is drop in a new cabinet objects, single door base, and then have it face, see the triangle? That wants to put on that wall. Going to move it into position there. Boom. Slap it in for me. Then what we do, take our measure tool, we need the back of this to hit that. Those overlay 1 inch. So those, hold on 1 second. Actually overlay an inch from the outside of that wall. So this needs to stick out an inch past. So what we're going to do, this guy right here, no, this guy right here, there we go. We're going to shrink it to an 18 and see what that does. No, not big enough. 20. Alright, cool. And then measure this here to there. We got a 1/2 inch. So then hit it again. We know it needs to come out. There we go. A 1/2 inch to match that. So what we're going to do is go to outset. Just put 0.5. And that should work. Let's just take the measure tool here real quick. Make sure we're perfect. There we go. That's that. So then what I'm going to do, manipulate this to some degree. So we're good here, we're good there. That's got to come out more. Let's go back to the plan real quick. Grab this cabinet, elevation. Got some gnarly stuff going on. Okay. It's 70, it should be a 72-inch cabinet, right? No space to stretch. In that case, go -1. Bump it over. This is a little trick. Then hit 72. Stretch it to the right. There we go. Now it loves us. Go back to your plan. Check that out. We're pretty much good to go. But now this and this needs to close up for a 45. So before we do that, I'm going to stretch this cabinet out all the way to here. And this is where it's going to get really fun. But from the outside of that to the outside of that, we got 48 inches. Okay. Let's go back to our back elevation here. That's the cabinet we want. Hit the elevation. Whoops. It's not the cabinet we want. That's the cabinet we want. Hit elevation. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure it's -0.7 on the right, because that's what we saw from the top view there. -0.75. Okay, we're good there. And then we're going to make this cabinet width 48, hit left. It's going to stretch it all the way over. We're going to have a mess here. Okay. So now what we're going to do, double click this, put 3 inches here, 3 inches here. Okay. 5/8 in the middle. We got enough for 23/16. Got plenty of room. Now let's go back to plan real quick and make sure that worked out. And we are good there. And we are good there. Perfect. So now, our box parts are kicked in here to the back, but this wall doesn't really matter, but we need to keep it here for this. So what I am going to do is take my measure tool and make sure I have enough clearance inside this frame here to the back of this cabinet. So we'll start this way, front to back, 24 at center. So we got enough room to manipulate this. You just kind of ignore some of these walls that we're using. They're just there for something in the cabinet to stick to. So let's go back to this bottom cabinet here, elevation. So now the fun begins. Now double click on this guy. We want this to stay in place. So we're going to go to our interior. We're just going to have this split bottom, split top, and it kicks it down there, right? And then go to front. I found the easiest way to do this is to just, we're going to have a 25/8 opening, right? So we're going to go down here to front, head deck, make that 25/8. We're just going to delete that. So just zero out this. We don't want that. If you don't split the top and bottom on the partition, then you have to adjust all sorts of sizes, so it's not fun. Okay, there we go. Oh, and one thing too, go into section, make sure there's no finished ends. There we go. It's gonna make things a little bit easier. We can just delete that out of there. Okay. Go back to front. We got to get rid of this unfinished left end. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then what we can do is take our back here, and we know it's going to be 23/8 plus 1.5 inches. So let's make it like 22.5 for now. I'm going to do all the fine tuning later. Oops. Not bad. It's going to be 29.5/8 actually. 20.625. That's our height. And 22.5. Sure. And just grab it. With the backs, as long as it's in the cut list, I just kind of throw it into place. It's not a huge deal. It's not. It's overlapping a little bit, but for what we're doing today, not a big deal. You go back to section face. Boom. Boom. Perfect. 48 inches wide. We're good to go. Now, go back to your front here. So your plan view, look down from the top. We got a cabinet box inside here. These and these work out well. I might have to kick these out another 3/4 of an inch, but I think we're good to go. As long as these cabinets are 72 and this is 48, it's going to be fine. So then a really, really easy way to get the panel on this side from here is to just copy this cabinet and drag it over. First, we have to do another wall. So we're going to do, this sticks out 1 inch, so we're just going to do a 1 inch thick wall that runs across the whole thing. And I think I got to adjust these a little bit more. So, go to wall. We're going to start here at this line, and those dotted lines will tell you right there where you're sitting. So we're going to pull that all the way across. Boom. Boom, just like that. Okay, hit return. Like that. We want it to be 34.5 tall. And then we're going to go 1 inch thick. Perfect. And it looks like, see, slaps it right into place. 46.5 on the inside, 48 on the outside. Beautiful. And honestly, instead of doing this, let's just do, yeah, that's be easier. Grab it. That's our base cab. Hit the elevation so we make sure we got the right one. Perfect. Copy. Oh, hold on. You gotta back up. You can't scroll in and out when you're copying, unfortunately. Maybe on the newer versions. So we got it there. Set off the wall. Depth 0.75 because this is just a frame. Smash into place. Still outside a ½ inch like the other one. Zero that out. Stuck on the wall. Hit our elevation. So what it likes to do is it likes to only make it 46.5. So there's a trick to that. Just like we did over on the other side. It won't let you stretch it. Like if I try to go 48 right now, it'll tell me to fuck off basically. Yep, no. Denied. So the trick is go to your clearance and hit -1. Kicks over to the left. Then go down width 48. And then hit right, and it'll stretch right to the right there. And then just to clean this up a little bit, let's go to our section view. It's easier when you're deleting a lot of parts. It's easier to go into section view first. Just get rid of the parts that you can, like that. Then go to the front view and just clean everything else out. That's one beautiful thing about cabinet vision versus 2020 is basically do whatever you want. Or 2020. It's not my favorite program. The renders are beautiful, but that's the irony, is with 2020 you're rendering beautiful cabinets, beautiful cheap Chinese or just factory-made cabinets to look beautiful in renders, and then with cabinet vision you're making really beautiful high-end stuff, and the renders aren't as good on this version, but I hear the new versions are the same. So it's kind of backwards. You would think your high-end customers would want high-end renders, but I might just be full of shit too, not have any idea what I'm talking about. I'm self-taught, so there's probably way better ways to do this, and if you know any better ways, you want to call me out, talk some shit, please do, because I'm always open to learning more things about stuff. As you can tell, I am not a good learner, because even the way I talk is pathetic. So, do a 3D view on this. Boom, all the parts are done. And then I used to go in and like actually edit the shape here. And oh, hold on, it's being stupid. There we go. -1, -1/2. 48. What is going on? Oh, it's -0.75. That's where I screwed up. Yeah, because these are 3/4 over. There we go. Cool. Now, there we go. And I used to 45 these in the program, but I don't, because why? It's just a waste of time, and then my computer would crash like every 5 seconds when I did that. So, but now, as you can see, we have a cabinet in here. It's going to be our trash can pull out, matching panels here, matching panels here, matching panels all the way across here. And the goal here is to make sure that when the island's finished and you're looking at it, that everything is symmetrical and consistent around the entire thing. So my panels here are the same size as my panels on this side of the island. Even though these are dead panels, they're the same size as these, or will be once I adjust them. This just looks like 2 panels, you know. That's what you want. You want symmetry. You want everything to look really, really, really well thought out. And this is kind of how you hide cabinets inside an island. And it'll give yourself a nice busy island on the inside that looks simple on the outside. People love it. And I love you. I hope you love me too. Hopefully somebody loves me. Okay, that's it. Until next time.